calling, and that would be probably the most sure way that you can track. Every one that I mentioned, you can track everything. So for instance, you can send 1,000 postcards out and see how many deals you get from that. You can send 10,000 postcards out and see how many deals you get from that, from farming. Door knocking, you can knock on 500 doors and see how many transactions you get, right? Same with all these ads. Zillow, when you pay by zip code, you get leads. You can then see how many of those leads convert. So everything can be tracked. Cold calling is when you pick up the phone and you call the customers. And you got various types of cold calling. You got calling like circle prospecting. Circle prospecting is like literally a circle, a radius, and every house in that radius, you call them. You know, every homeowner, you call them to see if they are looking to sell and if they're looking to relocate. That's what cold calling is as far as circle prospecting. You got calling probates, you got divorce, you know, you got different angles. You got FSBOs, which are for sale by owners. You call anybody that's selling for sale by owner. I've gotten some leads off of that, and even deals or listing appointments. It's like, hey, I see you selling for sale by owner. You know, some of them don't know how to go about the process, don't know an agent, so they just post it on Zillow, but they really don't want to sell the house themselves. They just put it out there, and then when an agent reaches out, they do interviews, and you can get listings that way. Some of them actually want to sell it themselves. But in a tough market like this, it kind of works out because it's tough not only for agents, it's also tough for sellers. So when most people go for sale by owner, it doesn't sell, they might want to call a professional to help them. So cold calling, you can call for sale by owners or expired listings. Expired listings are those that did put their house on the market and the contract expired, it didn't sell. This year, once again, has been a tough year, so the expired leads are so many because so many houses that go up on the market are not selling. So that's how you can kind of tell the kind of year it is. Based on the expires that you're seeing in your MLS, you can see that your market is hot or cooling off. But another thing you can do is when you pull up these expired listings, instead of calling them, you can actually door knock them in your area. You know, you pull up the expired listings, you can either call them or door knock them. When you door knock them, you're face to face. Same with the for sale by owners. Here's why I really like cold calling is all of these things I mentioned is a numbers game, right? But remember, I told you most of them take time. The good thing about for sale by owners and expireds, these are motivated sellers. They may not be motivated, especially the expireds, after their house has been on the market for, I see 200 days now, 150 days, 90 days, 86 days. After their house has been on the market so long, they may have lost some motivation, but they want to sell. They just couldn't get it sold. So now you want to find out why it didn't sell, you know. Sales is really not about you going out there and talking, oh, I'm with Remax. Oh, I sell these many houses. It's not about that. It's about finding out what the client wants and see if you can provide them that service. Once again, I don't believe sales is in forcing something down somebody's throat. It's about finding out the service they need and you providing it to them. You know, you let it come to you in essence. You just want to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver on. That's it. Okay, you wanted to sell your house, it didn't sell. Why? Oh, the agent didn't do their job. Now you want to research, did the agent not do their job? Because most of them are going to blame the agent. But when you check, the house may have just been overpriced. Sometimes it's better to walk away from some listings. You just be honest with them. I would have loved to do this transaction with you, but I think the house is overpriced. And if they don't go with you, they go with somebody else, and it doesn't sell because it was overpriced and they get a bad experience with that agent, sometimes they do call you back. They said this person had some integrity and they seem like they were knowledgeable, rather than an agent that takes the listing at a very high clip and then slowly is trying to force it down. Even if you take the listing, make sure you send an email that's in documentation saying, hey, we're going to put it on the market, but I think it's overpriced. So if it doesn't sell in a week and we don't get a lot of showings, are you willing to consider dropping the price? And if they say yes, then at least you were upfront that this may not sell at this clip. That's the only way I'll take an overpriced listing, is if the seller is willing to drop the price, or if they know they need to do some repairs and they haven't, and they will consider that in the future if it doesn't sell. So expireds are good because you're talking to people that are motivated to sell. Same with the FSBOs.
Your ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.